Christians from several Western nations, including Britain and the United States, have begun voluntarily joining militias in Iraq to help fight the rising Islamic State threat to Iraq's Christian minority. One such Christian militia is dwindling, which is an Assyrian language phrase roughly meaning self-sacrifice. Others came with the intention of joining the Kurdish YPG militia. However, some thought better of the latter due in part to that group's purported ties to the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, which many Western governments consider a terrorist organization in its own right. Those leaving their first world lives behind to fight a third world devil tend to be former military or military contractors who have grown frustrated with watching the atrocities from the sidelines. Often, however, they find pushback from the Kurdish Peshmerga fighters who have been keeping certain territories safe from ISIS with official U.S. and NATO assistance. According to one of dwindling's main Western recruiters, a man known only as Brett, many of the new recruits leave after a brief stay. Said Brett, many of the internet cowboys have come to realize this isn't a normal deployment, so they lose the stomach to come or stay. Reuters recently reported on the plight of a handful of Yemeni Jews who struggle to maintain a presence in that country following a recent insurrection in which a Shiite militia seized control of the small Arabian Peninsula's nation's government. On September 21st of last year, Houthi rebels moved into the capital city of Sana'a, which many are now calling an occupied city. This group, whose clumsy motto is "Death to America, Death to Israel, Curse the Jews, Victory to Islam," have forced the few remaining Yemeni Jews into a small compound near the now vacated American embassy. Jews, who have had a presence in that nation for generations, with numbers over 40,000 prior to the establishment of the Israeli state in 1949, now number just 71 nationwide. It is presumed that the nation of Israel is willing to grant sanctuary, although fears for the safety of the Yemen contingent make their announcing such politically problematic. As for why the at-risk minority doesn't simply leave Yemen, apparently their main concern is that Israel has become too secular. As one of the group's elders, Rabbi Yahya, said, "In Israel the girls rebel against their fathers and we fear for our daughters. I could not accept that my daughter might come to me one day and tell me that she was married to her boyfriend. This is not permissible in our religion." During a recent Mass for the installation of new cardinals at St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis took the opportunity to remind the clergy that under his patronage he wanted to be more inclusive in the Church. Said the Pope, "We will not find the Lord unless we truly accept the marginalized. Truly the gospel of the marginalized is where our credibility is at stake." He brought the point home by bringing up the biblical story found in the Gospel of Luke chapter 15. The Church's way from the time of the Council of Jerusalem has always been the way of Jesus, the way of mercy and reinstatement. It does not mean underestimating the dangers of letting wolves into the fold, but welcoming the repentant prodigal son, healing of wounds of sin with courage and determination, rolling up our sleeves and not standing by and watching passively the suffering of the world. He closed his comments by reminding the initiates why the clergy had been founded in the first place, urging that they serve the Church in such a way that Christians, edified by our witness, will not be tempted to turn to Jesus without turning to the outcast, to become a closed caste with nothing authentically ecclesial about it.